What's up, family and friends? Welcome to the Woke Nation, our nation of factual truth, where we feel free to share knowledge and spread the knowledge of factual truth without fear, without favor, and without feint, where we encourage us to live our lives and live it well through the knowledge of factual truth. And personally, I encourage you to enjoy your life because that's what you are born to do. You are not born to endure your life. You were born to enjoy your life. You were not born to worship. You were born to explore. You were not born to suffer. You were born to enjoy. Okay? So enjoy your life. Live your life. You are born to live. There is no purpose to life or purpose of life or purpose in life. All we have is desire. Like the problem you're talking about, check your desire. If you want to solve your problem, check your desire. And with your choice, if you can make a quality choice, you can deliver yourself, you can solve that problem because you are above your words, you are above your thoughts, you are above your actions. Know yourself and live your life. So you're welcome. I want to discuss or speak on or share with us on God and the spiritual world. Pentecostal, we call it spiritual realm. So that's what I want to talk about, and you can contribute. Share your own uh, knowledge of factual truth. That's how we spread knowledge. Never you think that, oh no, I'm above you, I'm ahead of you, I know it all. You don't need to say anything. All you need to do is to just listen to what I'm saying, like what I'm saying, follow what I'm saying, share what I'm saying. No, I like your comments more than your likes, even than your sharing, because when you comment, you're also speaking to me. Okay, so God and the spiritual world, spiritual realm. So my question is, where is it located? Where can I find that God? Where can I meet that God face to face? And where is this heaven? Where is this spiritual world located? As I often say, I'm not a spiritual being and I don't need any spiritual message. I don't have any spiritual anything. There's no spirit in me, there's no soul in me. All that is in me is natural organs, and I can know their functions. Anyone I don't know what their function is, I can easily research or find out what it is, what makes me do that, what makes that thing happen to me. Okay, just as I found out, there's no God revealing anything to us, there's no ancestors revealing anything to us, there's no spiritual lives in spiritual world communicating to us. There is no people or no, our ancestors are not representing us in the spiritual world while we are representing them in the physical world. No, all those things are from our wandering thoughts. And because we have been conditioned to believe, if we don't understand it, it is supernatural. If we don't know it, it is God. We don't know it, but God knows it all. Yet, children of God are ignorant. Children of God are going to school to learn. Children of God are becoming apprentices under somebody to learn. So, yeah, we are the ancestors they are talking about perfectly. We are the ancestors, and that's why, like our people who are in ordinary, or some people call it spirituality, you know, when you are pouring that libation to your ancestors or saying your ancestors are guiding you around that, where are they? Have you been there? Anytime I speak of this type of thing, I always quote Pericomo, the late Pericomo. If you listen to his song, he said that, "Be mmụọ adịghịkwa n'ịda o, Manisinje, that's exactly what theists do. Believers, that's what they do. You know, they assert something or they declare something as if they know it. Then when you ask them the follow-up question, they will run away. Just ask the question about God and see how confused they are. And see how unintelligent they are. They may be educated, but they are fools. Ask them question. It throws them off balance and they cannot stand your sight. Some of them are they even binding me and casting me out in their dreams because they keep seeing me in their dream, but they will not come online to tell you I operate like them. But some of you didn't catch it. I know they see me in their visions and revelations, how powerful I am over their God, but they won't come online to share it because it will show that others will know that I am powerful. As I've been saying, it's not a mere word, mere sayings. God and spiritual world, very interesting things that many people want us not to talk about it because it's benefiting them. Is hiding their evil lifestyle or evil doing. So they don't want us to talk about it. Just leave it. No, you don't need to understand it. You understand it by and by. When you get over there, you understand it. No, we don't know everything now. When we get there, at the judgment throne, we will know. We will know who is who. Oh, but I'm a child of God. You're a child of devil. You will go to hell. But on the judgment day, I will still be judged to know where am I going. I don't know. You don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Believers believe because they don't know. Every other person don't know too. Whatever they're suffering, they want you to suffer it. That's what makes them believers. That's wicked people. Wicked people. That's why I said there that everyone in religion is a sinner according to their book. Sinner, wicked people, evildoers. It is their God who created them and their God who is sending them. But no, I'm not. I'm going to heaven. If you're going to heaven, what are you still doing here? Why are you crying when a Christian die, a Muslim die, when they believe they're going to heaven? You're not supposed to be crying. You're supposed to be celebrating, supposed to be happy, and you're supposed to use their dead body to prove the power of resurrection. Yes. Okay, let's say you are a church goer. You don't have power. Your pastor have power. Use it. Use the dead body of your loved ones from today. Anyone that died in your family, make sure you use the dead body to prove to your pastors there is no God and there is no resurrection power in Jesus' name. Let them try it. It will never happen. There's resurrection recorded in the book of in the Old Testament, and resurrection also recorded in the New Testament. Not even one, multiple times recorded there. So you have that. The only way you can prove the power of resurrection is start with you, your family members. Your pastor, they have been burying people in their families. Your pastor have not raised one. All the people they are raising in crusade, in seminars, are arranged miracles, arranged performance. There is nothing. That's why they cannot arrange. What do you call it? Like somebody that is very sick, and the person come to your church or come to your church program and get healed. That one is impossible. You see that people who have invited to your church, they keep coming and still suffering, going to hospital, suffering. All they give them in the church is hope. And that's what every believer have. All they have is hope. And the hope is lie. Hope is not truth. Hope is not based on fact. Anywhere you are living by hope, there is corruption there. Like Nigeria, most Nigerians are living by hope. Even those who are working, hardworking people, civil servants, they are living in hope because they don't know whether they will pay them this month's salary or not. So they're living in that hope. They don't know what will happen. And that's why you see them praying, praying, praying. Anyone that's sitting on my salary, may Holy Ghost fire burn their nyash so that I will go. Akamaji, Akaji Ngozi. So for those of you that are not Igbos, when I say Pericoma said the Bemwa de Kwana Neda Manese Njekwe Ejemeje, he says the land of the spirit is not far, but if you ask me to go, I will not go. So it can mean two things to you, like the way I say it, you know. The land of the spirit is not far, but if you ask me to go, that means it can mean if you ask me to die now and go, because our people believe it's after you die you become a spirit. So if you are a bad person, you become bad spirit. If you are a good person, you become good spirit when you die, after you die, right? Okay. And they also believe that people in spiritual realm can open doors for you, like your day, late father, late mother, late uncles, late aunties, late grandpas and grandmas. They can open door for you. How I want that thing to be true. And even this is true, do you think any of us will still be suffering in Africa, for example, the way Africans believe in spiritual world, in spirituality? If those things are real, do you think there'll be any politician that'll be messing up around us? Do you think that policemen, army men will be beating us the way they do in Africa? Do you think that those our relations in the spiritual world, they are happy seeing us suffering because we did not do what they want? Is that what you still think? I tell us, one of our elders, one time I visited him, I said, that's one of the things I hate about what our people doing. They think death is punishment. Why are you telling me if I don't give food to that deity, it will kill me or it will start killing people? That's the reason why you're supposed to destroy such deity. Why you don't need to kill people? No, show that you are powerful. At least that deity come and block the road to say nobody will cross this road today. Every vehicle that comes from this side, stop there. The one coming over that side, stop there. No crossing. It can never happen. So that's one part of it. They preach there's a better word or word of the spirit, but they don't want to go. Then it can also mean that if you ask me to show you, I cannot show you. In other words, they cannot prove their faith. They cannot demonstrate what they believe. They will tell the real sick people they don't have faith. Yeah, yeah. They used to say that to sick people that they didn't heal. The pastor did not heal. They say you do not have faith, but that's not the teachings of Jesus or God. God say, I am the God that heals you. Did not say I heal you only when you have faith. No. He says, "So Lord, if you keep my commandments, I am the Lord God that heals you." So if he goes to church, as they ask you to go, you paying your tithes and offering. It's enough for God to heal you, or for you coming to church at all. What brought you to church? It is faith. You believe according to what your neighbor tell you that when you get there, miracle will happen. That's why you came to church. You have faith. Then if you don't have faith to be healed, the Bible said there are people that have gift of healing. Even faith is also, they say, it's a gift. So God should give the sick person faith so that the man of God will pray at the work, or the man of God will have faith. He said, if a sick person calls the elders, they will pray over him, anointing him with oil in the name of God, And he said, the prayer of faith will heal the sick. The Lord will raise him from the dead. If you have committed any sin, you'll be forgiven. That's according to their book. But they cannot demonstrate it. I believe there is God. God is all powerful. But if you ask me to show you that God, I cannot do that. So if you cannot show the God you're talking about, shut up. It's simple. God is never a living being. If you can read their Bible very well, they told you that in the beginning, God. Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. John chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. God is never a living being, it's a mere word evil men created for deception and control. You can never do any great thing that benefits humanity in the name of God. is impossible because God is a lying word. Just like blessing, just like love, they are deceiving words. It has nothing to do to the benefit of humanity. Mm. The land of the dead, that's what our people call spiritual world. They don't mean maybe spirit you cannot, spirit of, when Africans originally talk about spiritual world, they're paying homage to their ancestors. But the question I always ask our people is this: did our ancestors ask us to pay homage to them? No. What if it was somebody that, as I told you, that anything God is for deception and control? So somebody that wants his children to keep celebrating him, ordain that and tell them, oh, when I die, you will do this. If you don't do it, my spirit will haunt you, will blah, 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 blah. As you see, some of our people still believing that somebody that died centuries ago is the reason why they are not prosperous in business, is the reason why every money they hold diminish. No, it's not. It is you don't know how to do that business or you are in the wrong one. If you have the right product, customers will come. Even if you don't believe what they believe, so long you have what they need. Didn't you hear that the people of Israel went to Egypt for corn or for wheat during famine? They don't care whatever the Egyptians believe. According to your Bible, they went there. That's where their lives were saved. The same place their God was saved. When they want to kill God, they ran to Egypt. They saved him. If not for Egypt, there will be no Abrahamic religion. They are rooted in Egypt. Abraham, their father, was wretched until he went to Egypt. When he went to Egypt, he came out rich. In Egypt, outside Egypt, Abrahamic religions will die. In other words, without Africans, all these Abrahamic religions will die. And today, who are the people holding up Abrahamic religion? Africans. They don't know what they call ordinary is Abrahamic religion. They don't know. Because they don't know the real ordinary. The real ordinary is not worship, it's not prayer, it's not gathering. The real ordinary is what the land brings forth. Like some land have palm trees, some land don't have it. Palm tree is ordinary in our land. There are some things you see, it can only come from that land. It cannot come from another land. That's ordinary. They have specialized everything. Now they think there's another gathering. You see people saying they're having a ordinary bullshit. It's a religious belief. It's bullshit. That's why the God you believe in it cannot do anything. And after you do something, you begin to mention that God again. Nonsense. Mm. Understand this also. As I said this, bring the picture of our forefathers or enslaved ancestors before you. Hear what I want to say. Spiritual people are easily fooled to believe lies. Spiritual people are easily fooled to believe lies. They are pushovers. In other words, when the white people came, they found out our people have switched from science, from building to believing. Spirituality, spiritual world. When I die, where will I go? What will happen? I will be judged, like they created the 42 laws of Ma'at, where all the commandments of God in Abrahamic religion are rooted. Okay, so they shifted. The white people saw that Africans have shifted from science and technology to spirituality. So now they are easily deceived. You are a spiritual person. You believe in spiritual world. So I can come up and tell you, oh, your ancestor tell me blah, 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 blah. And when you consult some native doctors, they will agree with me. But I was lying. But they agree with me because they have to eat. That's why it is hard for you to see true native doctors today in the whole Africa. The whole Africa, the whole African continent. I'm not talking about one community in Africa. I said the whole African continent. It is hard for you to find a true native doctor today in Africa. And how do you know a true native doctor? They don't ask you for money. They don't collect money from you as you are paying for their services. No. They will tell you when they're done, then come and show appreciation. Because what you come with will be more than whatever they will maybe asking you for 5,000, 10,000. Give me this. Okay, buy goat, buy this. True native doctors. And when you see true native doctor in any community, politicians will be messing up there, military men, army, policemen, they'll be respecting him. They'll be bowing before him. The president will bow before him. Governors will bow before him. But where can you find them today? Personally, I've been seeking for such native doctors to fortify me, for me to go and fight politically. Politically, remember what I said? I said politically in my own land, not in America where I am now. Although it's African land, but not my own land. I'm in America just like I would have been in Cameroon or in Ghana or in any part of Africa because they are part of my land. Okay? But consider what I am saying. As a people, we are easily deceived. Today, you can see that we are still spiritual people, but that's not our originality. Spirituality is not our root. Spirituality is like our erring branch. So I will not say it's not our healthy branch because there's nothing you can do with spirituality in reality. Everything that's ascribing to spirituality power or spiritual power is what we do, is natural powers, natural forces, natural beings. There's no spiritual anything doing anywhere. Some people say, oh, spirituality means invisible, blah, 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 blah. We are not invisible. I'm not invisible. I don't have invisible part and visible part. I used to preach that when I was a pastor. Well, now, I'm a human being, 100% perfect human being. I need no creator and I need no savior. I was born a living being. I was, I am, and I will be. I can never end. There's no beginning, there's no ending to me. Did I ask you to believe that? No. I know that. Then know yourself. You don't know yourself, you want me to be you? No. There's nothing I know you cannot know, and there's nothing you know that I cannot know. Isaiah 33:17. Welcome to Bible study. Remember the question. I mean, what I'm treating on God and the spiritual world. And the question is, where is God and the spiritual world located? If you have the answer, please let me know. Isaiah 33:17 say, your eyes will see the king in his beauty. Who is the king? Christian says God and Jesus, they are the king. Muslims say God is the king. Other people say God is the king. He created us. All of us must worship him. All of us must bow before him. But this God is the great king that cannot show up to his subjects. This God is the king that cannot show up to help his subjects in their time of need. But he said, your eyes will see the king in his beauty. They will see the land that is very far off. God and the spiritual world. God is the king. Spiritual world is very far. He said, but he said, you will see, your eyes will see it. Have your eyes seen it? Bible says no one has seen God at any time. But you hear pastors today saying they have seen God. Some drink tea with God. Some God change American weather for them without changing Nigeria condition. some God will tell them bullshit. God will reveal things to them, but they are still suffering. So he said, your eyes will see the king in his beauty. Although they claim that that king is invisible with a spirit cannot be seen, but this spirit is beautiful. Oh, is that the same spirit they talk about in Isaiah 53? Where he say his beauty is bullshit? Is that the same thing? Of course, he's beautiful, he's ugly. He's good, he's evil. That's God. He's light, he's darkness. That's God. They lie. Where or what created God? No theist can answer this question wisely. My co-worker said, I believe there must be God. I said, okay. There also must be what or who created God. So if everything that exists have great creator, who created God or what created God? So you say, oh, God is self-made, self-created. I think it's in the catechism, right? Either Catholic catechism or Anglican catechism, but it's there. That especially, I think, that of Catholic. They are the one that, that the one that started all this bullshit. But look at what it says in their book. Because they make like God is uncreated creator. Or sometimes the argument shows that God created himself. So God is existence itself. That's Catholic belief. This is Christian belief. This is church belief. That God did not come from anything and everything come from God. That's what they believe. Idahosa also have used to preach that. He said that God look everywhere, did not see. He made everything from himself. He said, let there be. Let there be, right? Okay. But calling things into existence doesn't mean you created them. Can you think now? Calling things into existence. Like somebody is behind that door. I call the person, come forth. The person come forth. That doesn't mean I am that person's creator or I am even his father. I am not. I just call the person. Okay? And because I know the person is there already. So calling things into existence doesn't mean you created it. It means they already is in existence before you call them forth. You cannot go to the bank and withdraw money if you never deposited money there directly or indirectly. You can never, unless you are a thief, then you will be arrested after you made away with their money. If you read their book very well, it said that God is light. That's First John chapter 1, verse 5. It said, God is light. In him there's no darkness. Right? Okay. So this is the message. This is the truth. God is light. Okay. Then when you read further, like go to John chapter 1, it begins to talk about the word became God, and in him was life, and that life was the light of men, the light that lights everyone that comes in this world. That light shines in darkness, and darkness comprehended not. He said John was not the true light. He came to bear witness to that true light, and that light, which is the word that became flesh, became Jesus. Say no one has seen God at any time except Jesus, who came to declare it. Read with understanding, read Bible critically. Be a critical reader, not just a critical thinker. Be also a critical reader. Read it very well. Yeah? That light shines in darkness, and darkness comprehend it not. Yeah? We have seen his glory as the only begotten of the Father. Do you hear them? Then he said, no one has seen God at any time, but his only begotten Son, who was in his bosom, not who was with him face to face, in his bosom, not who was sitting by his side, in his bosom. He said, he has declared him, not shown him. You cannot show God, you can only preach God. You cannot prove God, you can only claim God. You can never demonstrate what you believe. You can only behave it. And that makes you a schizophrenic person. Everyone who believes in God, everyone who is living by faith, have mental illness, mental problem. Then if God is light, and in him is light that gives light to the world, to all men that comes into this world, then why Genesis chapter 1 verse 3 said, and God said, let there be light, and there was light. In other words, God said, let there be God, and there was God. So God, if you believe that God created light by saying, let there be light, and there was light, and God is light, and God said, let there be light, and there was light, that means God created himself. So God is a creature. God is a creature. Whether you call it flesh and blood, whether you call it spirit, according to the Bible, God is a creature, and I will never worship God. You can get upset all you want. You can have all that you have fear of afterlife all you want. You can have all that claims you make. Oh, this terrible thing has happened to unbelievers. I said, anything that you see that happened to one unbeliever, it has happened to all believers, all of them. And I also tell you that when you see Africans preaching God, singing God, dancing God, they are doing all that in hope that miracle will happen to solve their problems. They think it's a spiritual problem. Oh, somebody is blocking your financial flow. Somebody is blocking your financial tap. Somebody is against your destiny. Somebody is all that bullshit. We don't have any destiny. We don't have purpose. We are born to live, explore, and enjoy life. That's it. You can argue all you want. Oh, those people are going left. We are going right. We will make it. No, all of us going the same place we come from. The earth, our eternal home. So you need to know, for the fact you are speaking in defense of God, prove that God is the creation of man. That's why man is the one speaking for God. Man is the one fighting for God. Man is the one killing for God. Man is the one defending God. Every God is man-made for the purpose of deception and the control, which is evil. Everything about God is evil. Everything about God. You say, no, God is God. How can you say God was created? If you read your New Testament, it said that Jesus is the glory of God's creation, something I think in Colossians, right? Yeah. He said that God created Jesus. Jesus was created. And Jesus said, I and my Father are one. So using Christians' calculation or judgment of scriptures, right? Okay, God was created, so I'm still right. God is a creature. God is a toy. If you're a woman that masturbates that use the vibrator, or a man that use whatever you use as toy, sexual toy, is better than God. It's a creature too, but at least you are using it to satisfy your sexual urge or to cure it. But what can you do with God? Nothing. That's why they end up calling you a pervert when you're talking about sex, because sex will teach you a lot. Sex will save you from God. Sex will save you from all these faith and beliefs you have in God. That's why religion hates sex. Spirituality hates sex. They hate sex. They tell you that if you have sex, it will affect whatever they believe. It will affect the flow of their worship or whatever. Because the power of sex, oh, man bows at the power. When I talk man, I'm talking about human, men and male and female. You cannot put sex and God. Human being will always choose sex. Every living being, whether they are animals or human beings, they must choose sex over God. That's why you see the pastors sleeping with people's wives in the church, or people's children in the church, although they claim to be celibate. They took the oath of celibacy. They will never sleep with anyone again. They will never have sex. They want to make heaven. They are the eunuchs. But you see the Reverend Fathers fucking their mattresses. You see the Reverend Fathers using toys. You see the Reverend Fathers making phone sex. You see the Reverend Fathers fucking boys and girls in their ass. Because sex is powerful, just as a woman is powerful. They don't want you to embrace woman, because if you embrace woman, you will trust God. Put woman and God before men. Men will choose woman, because no one know God. God cannot help you in any way. In reality, but woman, I can't do without women. And you can call it anything you want. I rather be and die with women than with my fellow men. Yeah. He said, but you look like gay, but because in America, I found out when you have muscle like this, they think you are gay. You know, even people that are scared of you, you come close and say, please, 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 don't harm me, don't harm me, don't hurt me. Eh? Everything everything about God is evil. That's why it's written in their book that God creates evil. He do all the atrocities. He sent evildoers to do evil. In Job, he said, if it's not God, tell me who. Job chapter 9, verse 24. He said, God is the one doing all this. If it is not God, tell me who. So tell me who is more powerful than God doing all that, and God is watching without doing anything. Oh no, I have hope. There's a time will come when God will judge the world. Then he will take the power back and judge all these people that is nonsense. We are the one that will judge them. That's one of the reasons I'm looking for a true native doctor that can fortify me, that I can disappear. You shoot me, you will not penetrate. You cut me, it will not penetrate. You come to catch me, boom, it cannot survive, it cannot sustain. That's what I'm looking for. You think I'm looking for what to do, make money? No. If you're an Igbo person and you say you are going to church or you are going to school where they're teaching you how to make money, you are stupid. You don't know who you are. Do you know who the Igbos are? Both in the antiquity and today. The fact you are using internet, if not for Igbo man, you will not be using internet. And did you not go to America to learn it? You did not go to London to learn it. Right there in Africa. Oh. Spiritual world. As Pentecostal call it spiritual realm. I need you to understand that spiritual world is a imaginary world. It's a fairyland. Okay, it's not real. Heaven is a spiritual world. It's not real. Hell is a spiritual world. It's not real. Or your purgatory is a spiritual world. It's not real. Spiritual prison is a fairyland. It's not real. So understand that those places they told you that God is, God is in the third heaven, heaven of heavens, the heaven. They are all fairy tale. So there's no such thing as fairyland in reality. We have real land, just land. That's what you have in reality. Fairyland is where you find fairies. A fairyland have fairies, which is like gods, angels, demons. They are all in fairyland. You can never find God in our land. You can never find angels in our land. You can never find demons in our land because we are not spiritual beings. So you say you are hearing voices, you've seen dreams. They are real. They are not. Judge your dreams, judge your revelations with facts. Any truth that does not base on facts will not last. It's a lie. Every truth must be based on facts, and that is why it is called factual truth. No matter where you go, it remains the same. It will not decay in this side and become B on this side. No, wherever side you put it up and down, it remains the same thing. Factual truth, regardless your age, regardless your gender, regardless of your location. So spiritual world is a fairyland where you see fairies. I'm not a fairy. Man is not a fairy. I am not God. Man is not God. Man is above God. Fairies don't create. Fairies don't do anything. But according to white man that created God, he said the definition of God is someone or something that creates. Okay. But human beings don't just create. Human beings don't create. We build and we burn. BB. We build and we burn. BB, that's what we do. We don't create. All this create, somebody created this. Is still religious people selling their bullshit. You're supposed to know that everything in this world has been dented with a spiritual and religious nonsense. People are no longer using their brain, and that's why they want to force you to believe. Because they don't want to be alone in it. They know they are crazy. So crazy people always seek for other people to be with them, so they feel great. That's why when you go to psych unit or mental hospital, as some people call it, you see, they want to congregate and begin to do some silly things together. But you put them in the mental home. It's the same thing the pastor seeing. It's the same thing those church goers are seeing. But because religion is a legalized madness, or spirituality is a legalized madness, in other words, majority of people accepted it as true, but it's not. Religious people are deluded. Spiritual people are deluded. They don't know what they believe. They have been illusioned. So misinterpretation of what exists. For example, you hear voice in your head. Okay, I didn't say you didn't hear the voice, but telling me is the voice of God. That's where the problem is. Have you seen this God? No, but you can hear his voice. You are sick. You're supposed to be locked up also, like those patients in the psych unit. Fairyland is where fairy is. Spiritual world is where spiritual beings are. I am not a spiritual being. I'm not in a spiritual world. I'm a physical being, physical, eternal being. Everything of nature is eternal, never temporal. Everything in nature is eternal. That's why the more you want to clear it, the more is coming forth. The more they try to wipe out black people, the more black people are coming forth. Why? Because they are natural people. And they never go out seeking to wipe out any other people. Fairyland is not in reality. Heaven is not in reality. God is not in reality. I have shown to you using their word that their God is a creature. And their book said that they can see that king and they can see that land. Have you seen any believer at any time who come and tell you, hey, I have seen where heaven is located? Come, let me show you. For the fact they believe this God exists and that heaven exists, the best way they can convert atheists or unbelievers or the woke nation or those people they say are going to hell is telling their God, please, God, come, take this guy with me, take both of us. Let's go so we can see the heaven and come back. That's the best thing to do. It's like arguing about the existence of God. No, the best proof of the existence of God is God Himself showing up. Don't tell me you are educated so you can tell me something that proves there is God. No, I don't want to see or hear what proves the existence of God. I want to see God. It is people who trying to make money or maybe on television for the purpose or online on purpose of making money arguing with theists. I'm not arguing with you for what? You are not God. So you cannot talk about God. You cannot even talk about yourself because you are not yourself. They miseducated you. You don't know yourself. When you say you are a Christian, you are a Jew, you are a Muslim, you don't know yourself. When you say you are spiritual, you don't know yourself. But you want to come and tell me about God. You have not seen. You yourself, you can see. You don't even know yourself. You know you are confused about yourself. That's one of the reasons you go to people that claim to have ability to see. If they have ability to see, you don't need to consult them. They'll even see you well person. You see some people that have that ability, they will approach you. They see problem, they see the solution. They're not coming to castigate you. No, they will come and tell you what they see and what to do to save you from that. Amechi is one of them. She has shared that with me, and she has such abilities. I have that type of ability too. You don't need to consult. If we're talking, I'll be saying things that you would think your best friend or your wife or your husband told me about you. Nobody told me anything. It's natural thing. All of us, we are powerful. We have powers. But they taught you away from yourself. And you end up arguing for a being that cannot solve any of your problem. Why your problems are there. You're supposed to be arguing how to solve your problem. But you are arguing about God that cannot solve your problem because you have hope. This problem will be here forever. When I die, the problem will die. And so I will be free. I will be with God in heaven, fairyland, with fairy. What will you be doing? Oh, do not masturbate. Don't you know? How can you be masturbating all your life? But you are going to heaven where you will be praising and shouting hallelujah all your life. Remember, the life you're talking about, you are using, do not masturbate for. It's not even, it may not even reach up to 80 years, it may not reach 100 years. But this one, you are going to heaven, where you'll be shouting hallelujah, bowing before God, angels, casting your crown. That's what you'll be doing for eternity. It's not like 100 years, it's not like 10 years or 50 years. This one is eternity. It's like somebody who is addicted in religion telling you you are addicted to India hemp. Why are you smoking weed? No, you are the one that the person smoking weed is supposed to be preaching to. Why are you worshiping what you can see? What cannot help you? What cannot put money in your pocket? Why are you worshiping such God? Oh, you see how they make argument? No, God can't do that. Oh, must we expect God to do everything? Yes. If God is all powerful, He's supposed to be all doer. He can't be all powerful and select only few things to do. He's supposed to be doing all things. To convert people, He don't need to send anyone to preach to anyone. If God has to send you to preach to anyone, that God is not all powerful. If God sent you to defend Him, to show proof of His existence, that God is not all powerful. He's supposed to show up so that everybody will see it. Have we seen two people arguing about the existence of the sun? No, no, they don't do that. And you cannot see any wise person worshiping the sun. Worship is for foolish people. Slaves worship. Free people don't worship. Africans never worship the sun. Mm-mm. But they say if there is God, it must be like the sun. The sun shines, everyone sees the sun. The sun is powerful. It makes things live. Not that the sun is a make that thing like that. Sun is part of the nature. It has its own work. So no matter how you see it, whether in a spiritual teachings or religious teaching, right? You have belief in God, you are stupid. There is no God. It doesn't matter how you try to define it, say, no, you are God. No, you are stupid. When you say you are God, that means you are stupid. Because there is no God. You're just making a claim which you cannot demonstrate. If you say you are God, then can you create things as God do in the book? No, you cannot. But that's where you get the idea of God. You weren't born with any idea of belief in God. It was taught to you. And you don't even remember the first time they taught you that, for you to know that you were indoctrinated. If it was by your choice, you will know the first time you heard about God. You that is living, hearing me, you cannot tell me the first time you heard about God. You cannot, because they forced that on you when you were too little to understand what you believe. If God is self-created, then God is a creature. And if God created man in his image and likeness, then man is not born. Mhm. You can't be born and be created. It's impossible. You must be one. Creatures are not born, and living beings are not created. Did they teach you that in school? No, because school is a tool for indoctrination, not for enlightenment. But I'm here to enlighten you so that you can think for yourself. If God created man in his image and likeness, then man is not born, but self-created, just like God. If God said, let there be light, and there was light, and God is light, so man can say, let there be man or woman, and there will be man or woman. You don't need to have sex to have it. That's why I tell you, sex will reveal to you a lot of things religion don't want you to know. A lot of things Holy Book don't want you to know. A lot of things spiritual and religious people don't want you to know. Sex will reveal them to you. They hate you to have sex. Think about it. Why all these spiritual people, all religious people, they hate sex? They see women as obstacle, as what pulls man down. Why? You need to ask yourself, begin to ask, the power of sex will corrupt your idea of God, or will destroy your idea of God. Because if there is God that gives children, you wouldn't need to impregnate any woman. You wouldn't need that. You wouldn't need any man or woman to have your own child. You will say, let there be male children, they will show up. Let there be female children, they will show up. But even their book, if you follow it very well, that Genesis, it will show you that man cannot be created, but born. But because they want to sell you the idea of creation, that there's a God that created man, which no man has seen at any time. They tell you that, God called things into existence. But the animals, when you read Genesis chapter 1, it said God said the waters bring forth animals. Then when you read Genesis chapter 2, it said God bring forth the animals from the ground. You see the contradictions, right? Okay, so because if God called animals in Genesis chapter 1 from the water, but now to create a man, he went to the earth to create the man. Do you get that? Because if till today animals still give birth the same way human beings give birth, the same way you have sex, animals have sex. Have you seen a male animal fucking another male animal in the ass? I'm yet to see that. That two male animals embrace themselves or hug themselves doesn't mean they are gay. Even kissing themselves. You see, in some cultures, men kiss men also. In some cultures, men kiss men, right? But in nature, when you're talking about sex or giving birth, it's natural, whether it's among animals or among human beings. But if God created animals from the water, according to Genesis chapter 1, and created man from the earth, so why is animals reproducing using their tongue the same way human beings reproduce? You have sex to have children. Animals also have children, have sex to have children or kids. They said the difference between kids and the children. He said kids is for animal like goat. The little one is called kids. Because I had it from a woman, a hairdresser. I was waiting for my barber to cut my hair. So she was talking to somebody, she was making her hair, say that, the person said, a kid, it was talking, it was a kid. She was doing her hair and talking. He said, no, I won't call you a kid. A kid is an animal. You are a human being. I call you a child. I call you your name. So I say, wow. And I begin to search because we Africans, we are not English people. And the English word is not meant for us in the first place. But we use English word as if we know it when we don't know it. And we are using it the way that they're just using it. Just like Africans saying they are atheists. Atheism is white people stuff. Atheists are believers. But I have seen many Africans claiming to be atheists. I said, these people don't know that atheists believe. Atheists are people that believe God does not exist. They believe. They also believe in morality, like, uh, because it's white people's stuff. It's not our stuff. When it comes to Africa, we call things what they are. White people don't call things what they are most of the time. But we call things what they are. When we say okwa, we know what is okwa. Then if it's another thing that's called like ukwa, you see, the pronunciation will not be the same. And you will know, okay, it's not talking about that. For example, I've been thinking this. If you search the word believe, you see another word for believe is not even think. Like when you say I believe, it's another way of saying I think in English. But in Igbo or in Africa, where I came from, using Igbo language, echerem na echerembo, I think. Na ekwelem, I believe. It's not the same thing. Or equim. So, and when you're talking about equim, it can mean I accept it or I just believe blindly. But when Igbo said equim, they don't mean I believe or equim. It means after thorough consideration or thorough research, I accept this. I accept this based on what I see or have seen. But that doesn't mean if I see if I see what is more factual tomorrow, I should continue holding this one. No, I will leave it for the one I found out. That's why our people say ahunanye ekwe, but our educated people misinterpreted it by saying sin is believing. No, sin is not believing. Sin is acceptance. Sin is I agree. But another word for accepting things in our places like in agreeing with it. So that's another thing it means. So when you see certain words, when you say you're an atheist, if you have been following what I've been saying, I never say at any time that I'm an atheist. When they say no, but atheist means somebody that don't believe there is God, I say, but I know there is no God. I know there is no God. What do you call such person? Woke. I'm woke. It's not a title to give me. It's not a label or bullshit. It simply means I don't believe. No matter what you say, believe. No, I want to know. I don't want to believe. I want to know. Ahunanya ekwe. Sin is agreeing. Sin is acceptance. Sin is not believing. Sin is knowing. Show me. You can believe without sin, but you cannot know without sin. Do you get the point now? So understand these things, especially you Africans, because my main purpose of sharing all this is for our people. We have been spiritualized and it has been destroyed us. It's time we wake up. Spirituality started our doom and we will not let it continue. It's time we wake up. It's when we detach ourselves from spirituality, all this spiritual world, spiritual nonsense. That's when we begin to find solution to solve our problems permanently. Why people know that Africans are easily deceived people, they are spiritual people. They don't mind what you talk about, spirituality, religion, dedicate all your life into it. So long they are controlling you with one bomb, boom, they kill you gone. All your spiritual beings cannot do anything to stop them. See how they enslave us. See how they still colonizing us. We are still under their control according to the Berlin Conference, 1884, right? We are still in it today. But yet you see Africans claiming to have some spiritual power. So what have you done with your spiritual power? Nothing, except to hurt yourself and your people. It is the person that sits closer to you that hear the bad smell of your mouth. Not the person that is afar off. Even my cologne don't travel that far like that. But at least when you come close, you must smell it. Hey, man and woman having sex to procreate using their word, procreate. We don't procreate, we're born. If God is self-created and God created man in his own image and likeness, that means man and woman having sex to procreate is a lie from the pit of hell. Using your word. You know their word, they always talk about something coming from the pit of hell. So when you are having sex, you are practicing the pit of hell, perhaps something. You are disobeying God. God say, let there be. And he created his own image and likeness. It's supposed to be, let there be my son. Let there be my daughter. Okay, let there be more sons. Let there be more daughters. And it will be so. They tell you, no, you want to create man. He went to the earth. He breathed into it. That's Hebrew bullshit. Then Christianity came with their own. Oh, no, it did not breathe. It was the Word. The Word was God, and the Word was with God. The Word became God, flesh, and dwelt among us. We beheld his glory as the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. Bullshit. No one has seen him at any time. No. But this idiot has come to declare it, not to show us. We want to see him. Philip said, we want to see. It's enough. That's all we need. We want to see this Father you're talking about. Jesus said, I cannot show you that. Is it not the same thing Perico must say? The land of the spirits is not far. But if you ask me to go show you, I will not go. It does not exist in reality, my people, Africans. There is no spiritual force above you. No God can curse you. No God can bless you. Wake up, Africans. You are slaves who are competing with their slave masters. Your slave masters have all the tools. You have bare hands, and you are competing with them. What have your spirituality done for you? Nothing. Your leaders, African leaders, they are still puppets to white people because we are still their slaves. And you are there arguing about God. Look at your village. Look at your town. Especially you Igbo people, you cannot travel to your village anymore. Shame, 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 shame. And you'll be bragging. Yeah, I like their music, like all this flavor, but when I watch their video, it gets me upset. Like how they spray money, doing all that, I say. They claim all that big names, but you are nothing. Hausas and the Yorubas in Nigeria already knew You are just noisemakers. So for you to show them you are not just makers. Wherever you are living in their land, show them. For example, in Ajalaba, how can Igbo people still be cowering under Yoruba people in Ojo local government area? Think about it. Where they have dominion, yet see how they are suffering. Wake up. There's no God, there's no spiritual world.